Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Performance E Streaming. It is Thursday night, and that means only one thing. It's time for the Thunder. The Thursday Night Thunder is here, ready to roll. We are ready to rock and roll here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I'm, as ever, Mr. Carl Wilkinson, with you up here in the booth with Mr. Mark Johansson. Mark, how are you going, mate?
Mate, good to be out here at Las Vegas for a nice night race. It'll be interesting to see some hard hitters in the field tonight. So let's see how it all pans out.
Yeah, some very, very fast trucks and drivers out there tonight. So expect to see quite a bit of competition out on the track here tonight. We are looking at a decent length of race tonight. We are racing 130 laps here at Vegas. Track temperature 20 degrees Celsius. Air temperature a nice 19 degrees Celsius. And it is, well, as you can probably see, it is that time of day where the sun disappears and the floodlights appear.
Definitely, in tonight's race, we got Barry Neal out there, our Kiwi driver, one of them. So he's going to be one to watch tonight. He seems to be able to save fuel and tyres. Dave Douglas is there as usual. Hamish Gallagher out there tonight, so I'll be looking forward to seeing what he can do and move forward.
Yeah, it'll be good to see what those drivers can do here tonight. Well, the practice session, well, the warm-up is over and done with, and we are now moving into the race proper. So let us get ready to set the grid for tonight's race and have a little bit of a look-see at the starting grid here tonight. Taking pole position on the front row, we have Jason Martin with Lachlan Urquio right next to him, coming out strong again tonight, following up on his victory last week. Row number 2, we've got Barry Neal with Ruben Phelps, a Kiwi strength at the second row of the grid. Row number 3, we've got JCW with Josh Micklemore. Row number 4, we've got Dave Douglas and Troy Davidson. On the 5th row tonight, it's Hamish Gallagher and Alexander Sheridan. Row number 6, we've got Chris Finley and Kate Donnelly. On the 7th row tonight, it's Aaron Dillon and Stevie Dub. Row number 8, we've got Gary Wellman and Todd Maxfield. Row number 9 is Shane Bowen with Michael Campbell. Row number 10 is Nicholas Walsh and Brad Finlay. On the 11th row tonight, it's Mr. Matty Hunter out there tonight on the track, rather than being up here in the booth, with Norman Clark. Row 12, we've got Roger Clark with Maxie Marshall. On the 13th row tonight, we've got Ben Vickers and Greg Sholton, new to the series, the number 4. On the 14th row, it's Jake Maloney with Maddie Ray. Row number 15 is Riley Curtis, Noddy Tompkins, and that rounds out our field here tonight.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch those front 2 rows. As you said, Carl, Lachlan coming off a great win last week, and Jason Martin there looking to put a foothold on these championship, and Barry Neal and Ruben Phelps. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we should see some good racing out here tonight. There are some really fast trucks out on the track tonight as well. And there are some absolute specialists here at Las Vegas. Well, the trucks are coming round. The pace car pulls in and we're about to go green for tonight's race. Let's listen to this field roar away here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And as I come across the line for the first time tonight, it's Jason Martin in the lead. with Barry Neal right underneath behind him. Carol Walden looking to get up on that middle line.
And Dave Douglas there looking to drop down and join up with JCW and Martin. Hamish Gallagher there also. The two SRM trucks have been swamped here tonight, so nevertheless, we know how they race. They don't mind falling back early and coming back through the field later on in the race. But still trying to sort themselves out the two rows here. Oh, we got a spinner. The truck 40 just got real sideways there. He got touched by I'm not sure who. I think it was Willman, and got very sideways, but he's been able to keep it going. So great work there by him.
Okay, Donnelly there. Let's try and get the replay there. It looks like teammates making contact with each other. Two Sim boys making contact with each other. Great save. Oh, Stevie Dove just got so lucky there as well.
Yeah, very lucky not to have a big one early on, because if he'd connected, it would have been all over Red Rover for those cars in the rear. Now we've got a 2-car split, but we've got 3 wide racing, some up front. So it's already gloves off tonight, Carl.
Yeah, they are racing hard up the front. Look at that pack of trucks absolutely spreading out across the track as we go. They are going hard at the moment, Mark.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what's got into these boys tonight. Normally we see a fairly settled pack out the front and just take it nice and easy to get into the race. But it's good to see the two Cobalt car trucks there of Alex Sheridan and Shane Bowen, is it?
Yep.
Yep, I got him right.
Watch out for the two A1 cars. We've got Dave Douglas and Riley Curtis up there. They're coming off a very strong night in the Wheeling Modifieds on Monday. A 1-2 for the team. Dave Douglas taking victory in that, well, awesome race. And the highlights can be found on the ANZCAR Facebook page.
Just keeping an eye on Hamish here. He was very aggressive, trying to get down under Barry to try and get in behind Martin, but he's settled in now. So we'll see what happens here. We should see these guys go through. Some of them will try and do a one-stop race because we can get around 50 to 60 laps out of the tank. And some of the other guys will go for the alternate strategy and go for 2 stops. Just at the moment, we've got two groups forming here. We've got this lead group, and then we've got some guys down the back. Matty Ray's in down there, so Noddy Tompkins, Norman Clark down there. So they've dropped right off that second pack. This second, I was just going to say, this second group trucks is trying to sort themselves out and start to work together. So that's a group of about 12 trucks there. So let's hope they can get together and start working together and catch that lead group.
That lead group is showing some great pace at the moment, and they are racing hard as well. 2 wide here at Vegas. Absolutely going for it at the moment. We've got 2 lines. It's almost like running a super speedway race at the moment, Mark.
It is, and as I said, it's unusual to see these boys do that so early. You normally see them drop down in the single lines, but they all want the glory tonight, Carl. So let's see what happens.
Up the front is Dave Douglas on the high line with Jason Martin on the low at the moment. And they are racing each other, well, they are racing very hard at the moment. And there is some good action going on. I'm just trying to figure out what's happened to Ben Vickers, because he was in the pit lane he's in the pit lane with some damage. So not sure what happened to Ben, unfortunately. So out early doors for Vickers tonight, unfortunately. And just behind this main pack, we've got this secondary pack closing up, and they're racing pretty hard as well. You know, they are absolutely going hammer and tong at the moment and really pushing hard. Riley Curtis leading this group at the moment. Jake Maloney leading this group at the moment, trying to catch up to the rest of the pack and doing a decent job of doing that as it stands.
Yeah, they've settled themselves down into one lane, that second group. When I left it, they were too wide and battling fairly hard. So let's hope they can, as I said, get back onto that lead group. They really need to just work together. But back up front, nothing's really changed. There's just still, but everyone's just driving as hard as they can at the moment.
They are really going for it, and could start to see a little bit of tyre wear coming into this as well here at Vegas. It is a place that can eat the tyres up a little bit, especially if you're not running the preferred line.
Yeah, definitely, Carl. I mean to say, with these guys battling the way they are, I would definitely say tyre wear will come into it at some point. It's not too bad around here. It's you know, you can run that low line flat out as long as you're not driving in hard on that right front. So the line that everyone's taking just seems to be they move up half a truck length width or nice apexing the corner at the moment. So yeah, let's just watch and see.
Keep an eye on that field. And up the front, they are still very much 2 by 2, running side by side at the moment and racing very hard with each other. And well, we're seeing some great action here tonight, which is always fun.
Just seeing the 013 car just get a little bit taily there. So have to keep an eye on him because he looks like he's starting to hurt on tyres at the moment.
Aaron Dillon for the Sim Boys there, just sat in front of Toddy Maxfield and Chris Finley down low as well. So quite a few of the Sim Boys close together at the moment. And well, we've seen 2 of their trucks get together with Wellman and Donnelly. Hopefully they won't have the same happen as we see Hamish Gallagher deciding to take it down the middle and go 3 wide here at Vegas, sailing it down the middle between Troy Davidson and Joshua Carroll Walden at the moment, trying to work up into a slightly higher position.
Unusual for Hamish to be so aggressive early, but he does like to lead from the front, so we'll keep an eye on. Barry Neal now jumps up in front to try and cut him off. So we're going to have to see Hamish jump up into that high line in front of JCW, and as I say that, he does exactly that. But that low line, it's still very scraggly all over the place. That they really are trying to fight each other.
That secondary pack is catching up as well. Jake Maloney doing a great job of leading the pack and closing the gap ahead of him. He is closing up on Shane Bowen. The gap now about a second. So they are closing in on the front pack, and we're going to get a huge amount of cars joining up now into a fantastic race here at Vegas.
Yep, and further back at the back of that lead pack, we're going back 3 wide racing again. Ruben Phelps trying to move down the centre. That second group has now only got about 5 cars in it, so the other guys have dropped off. Brad Finley just dropping off the back of that a little bit, and he'll be looking at joining up with those other 2 Sim Boys. They're not that far off, they can catch him. Still a long way to go. We're only on lap 20 of 130, so 110 laps still remains, and we just have to buy our ticket to that second half of the race now. I would expect to see some guys down pit lane around lap 55, Carl.
Yeah, I wonder if some of those guys sitting back are just trying to save their tyres for a bit of a later run. if they're just doing a little bit of fuel saving, just trying something in this race to see what they can get working. We know strategy is always in the minds of a sim racing driver. Look at Lachlan Urquhart now all over the back of Douglas, trying to find a way past that A1 car. Not quite working at the moment, but he is absolutely harassing Double D there.
It definitely is, and JCW there's got the bit between his teeth also, sitting right up the rear end of Hamish. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see these three try and either go outside or go down through the centre and make a third lane. Lachlan there, showing the nose to Dave, to DD, saying, come on, let's get this top line working and moving forward. But on the problem is though, Carl, is you got the two Mitch boys on that low line, Martin and Mickelmore. So they're going to have the hard time. We've seen in the last two races where they've joined up and they are very hard to get around and get in front of.
Yeah, that team is very strong indeed, and they always work very well together. You've got Hamish there in the 13 too, so there is some very strong trucks sitting in those positions at the moment, and they are looking very good indeed. As we go a bit further back and see this group starting to catch up now to the rest of the pack, so I wonder if they've just been saving a little bit in the early stages. It looks like that could be the case, because it's coming back to them now in this second section of this part of the races. Oh, and Dylan just gets very, very wobbly there, just getting that truck a little bit twitchy, and it's not looking settled at the moment. The 013, I think, was that just a little scrape of the wall there?
Yeah, just a touch of the wall there, coming through turns 1 and 2, 3 and 4.
Jump up to the blimp camera and get a bit of an idea of how the trucks are running. Battling it side by side with Jake Maloney at the moment, really close there. Little bit of door scraping going on, and well, you know what they say, Mark, rubbing is racing.
Yeah, definitely, but it's the wrong type of rubbing. You definitely don't want to be rubbing that outside wall, because it can do some serious damage if you hit it wrong. Just back up the front car, we've got a lead change. Dave Douglas has been able to get that nose in front. Just wondering if they're waiting for Hamish Gallagher to get in front of the Mitch boys and maybe see them drop down on the low line.
Yeah, they got a good jump over the rest, and Mickelmore just having to come up to just give a little bit of a feint defence there against Barry Neal, and got to do that against Barry. He is one of the nicest drivers out there, very calm, very always helpful, you know, but when you put him behind the wheel in a race, he's an absolute terror. He will absolutely harass you lap after lap after lap, and if he gets in front of you, he can be very hard to beat. So those guys just trying to keep Barry blocked up a little bit at the moment, because when he is on pace, he is one of the hardest drivers to beat in the ANZCAR League.
Definitely, and we can see that top line, how good a run. That top line is starting to really work now. They've got the four car trucks in front of the line, and it won't be long before Barry Neal and Ruben Phelps have got past the Mitch boys, as we see one of the Cobalt cars jump up there. Just not sure which one it was, and looks to join in that high line.
That'd be Shane Bowen up there at the moment, one of the highest running Cobalt entries. He's got a few positions over Alexander Sheridan at the moment, so sitting in some good positions still, and well, they have had some good runs recently and been right up there. Remember, they almost took the victory last time out at Atlanta, but it was Urquhart that managed to get across the line first, and having another strong race at the moment, the 42 up in P2 just behind Douglas, and the low line is absolutely melted off. Look at Josh Mickelmore, he is trying desperately to squeeze himself up into the mid to the high line, and I think he's getting a little bit of help from his teammate there, Jason Martin, just allowing that gap to form a little bit.
back up front, we see Barry Neal down on the low line, and Ruben Phelps now has jumped down there to try and get a run with get a run with him. But as I say that, he moves back up into the high line. So they're really trying to apex these turns. We can see some of them dropping down on the low line through the apex and sliding back up into the high line. But out front, we still got DD and Lachlan Urquhart and Hamish Gallagher, the front three trucks.
Keep an eye on the lines, because some of these drivers like Neil, Gallagher, Martin, they might run a slightly tighter line and they'll make it work somehow. Though they can absolutely drive a truck on a tighter line and make it work through a race like this. Whereas some of the other drivers will just have to run that slightly higher line all race long, and it just loses a little bit of speed. So watch for those drivers taking advantage of that low line if they can make it work. So we still have 29 cars in the race and 29 cars on the lead lap as well. Noddy Tompkins, final car running at the moment. We look like we've probably lost Ben Vickers from the race, unfortunately. The 77 out early doors. Let's see if we can actually go back and find out what happened to Ben. Oh, contact on the opening laps and a heavy impact for the 77. No wonder Vickers' race is run.
Yeah, that's definitely not a way you want to start a race. So hard luck for Ben. He had some bad luck last week also with the truck ending up behind the wall. But just watching Josh Mickelmore and JCW and the Jake Maloney just having a great battle there. But JCW's been able to clear him now and trying to make a run on that top line.
Meanwhile, up the front, Gallagher is making a move for the lead of this race.
Yeah, just caught that through 3 and 4 there. Hamish leaning on DD a little bit through the turns, and yeah, luckily they're both very experienced drivers and can do that and get away with it.
They are racing hard still out here, and that's what we like to see. Look, it's all about the racing, and they are racing clean and hard at the moment. Absolutely cigarette paper between these cars as they are running at speeds close to 280, 290 kilometers per hour. They are absolutely going to it, and real concentration levels throughout the field, keeping themselves in a good position as Hamish Gallagher takes himself up into the lead of this race.
And Lachlan Urquhart's jumped down behind Hamish, abandoned his partner there in crime for the first 37 laps. So we'll see if Lachlan can get that low line working with Hamish now. Just looking further back, this battle group between Jake Maloney, JCW, Ruben Phelps is still leaning on each other and still battling for that 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th position.
Yeah, plenty of action going on track, Mark. There are so many good battles we're seeing out here as we roll into lap 40 here, and so about 20. We're expecting about 20 more laps of running until pit stops are going to be needed. So who is going to be the first to blink? Who will be the first to pull it down into the lane? And will we see the green flag stay out as we get those first pit stops starting to happen?
Yeah, we've seen some good green stops through these last 2 rounds. So, but Atlanta, we just caught some guys out, and they brought out the caution just at the wrong time, or for the right time for some of the drivers. Just further back, watching Matty Ray, he's sitting down in 27th position. Not having a night that he'd like. Down there with Norman Clark, and Noddy Tompkins has just dropped right off the back of the field.
Noddy dropping down in 29th position at the moment. He's running a fairly decent pace, and he's sort of in an okay spot at the moment. He's not too far off from the rest of the pack, so he's not really at risk of dropping a lap just yet. There's big slide there for the 16 of Toddy Maxfield, and he just gets that one saved in the nick of time. But trucks are starting to get a little bit skittish here, Mark, as the fuel starts to burn down and that the tyres start to wear out.
They should only have around 20 laps of fuel left. And we have seen this year, when these trucks fuel load gets light, they Lachlan Urquhart in pit lane.
Pulling it in early here, Lockie. What is the plan for the 42? Is he trying something different, I wonder? So
I'll keep an eye on that truck and just see if he's got any damage or he's just taking fuel and tyres. So tyres on the right.
Riley Curtis popping into the lane as well, so maybe fuel numbers a little bit less than we were expecting, or they're trying to get some fresh tyres and take advantage of a run.
Well, Lachlan has just come in and he has taken tyres and fuel. And he was in his pit box for 14.5 seconds, so nice quick stop. A little bit slower than the Noble. Dave Douglas in the pit lane this lap round.
Okay. Well, we are starting to see those green flag stops come in, and well, as you and me know from experience, Mark, green flag stops can sometimes cause those caution flags to fly when things go wrong. And Aaron Dillon just getting really loose in the 0-1-3. He just gets it stopped in time on the grass, doesn't run across, and does not bring out the caution flag there.
Yeah, I can tell you now that we've been lied to again, because well, I don't know if we've been lied to, but a lot of these guys are now calling out for pit stops over the race radio. So obviously they're not quite getting the distance that they'd hope, or they could be all just coming in to take some fuel. Now this will see Lachlan come back up through the field, so maybe he's just tried a slightly different strategy, Martin, in this lap.
Yeah, possibly trying that undercut, which can be it can sometimes help you out, as we see a gaggle of cars entering the lane here. Still a few cars out on track. We've still got Hamish Gallagher out there, Barry Neal, Jason Martin. They're coming in now, sorry. So yeah, they're all pretty much coming in to the lane, and that's going to leave Lockie out there, and he should gain a bit of an advantage here, being that he's been running on those fresh tyres, and he has indeed. And look, Riley Curtis as well, he's managed to jump up a whole heap of positions in the 093.
It's going to be interesting to see how they come back out and form up, Carl, because we see a gaggle, all the leaders now coming out of pit lane. So Lachlan's up to speed, so he's going to have a good run through here. He'll get out, but he's out there by himself really at the moment. Riley Curtis is there with him, but he needs to close up on the back of Lachlan. And we can see behind that Jake Maloney and Hamish Gallagher now up to speed. and closing in. So look at these guys to form back up. There's four laps difference in tyres between Lachlan and Hamish now. So we'll see what these boys can do.
Yeah, plenty of action still to come here tonight, but it's the 42 back in the lead of the trucks here at ANZCAR. Lachlan Urquhart up there, Riley Curtis as well. And as I said, keep an eye on those A1 cars. Riley Curtis and Dave Douglas having a fantastic night Monday, and they are going to be carrying that momentum in. Do not discount this man, Jake Maloney in the 29. Very fast driver, and he has got, well, one of the fastest drivers on an oval, Hamish Gallagher, right behind him as well. We know how good Hamish is. He's a very hard driver to beat. And those four have linked up now and got themselves in a good position. A little bit further back, we have Josh Micklemore with Dave Douglas and Barry Neal. So those three sitting in some prime positions. And then there's a fairly decent gap back to Ruben Phelps, Jason Martin, Stevie Dubb, Joshua Carroll-Walden, Shane Bowen and Alexander Sheridan. So this has really broken the field up, Mark. Those pit stops have absolutely broken the pack up. Speaking of breaking the pack up, Riley Curtis now taking the lead as they get through, and Lachlan Urquhart just dropping back a little bit.
Yeah, maybe he's gone to a bit of a fuel save, or maybe he wants to try and drag that group back a little bit to join up with the guys behind him. Just looking further down the field, Carl, our mate Matty Hunter sitting down there in 21st position. And so he's in with a group of 4 other cars, trucks I should say. So look at him coming further forward, and he's good to see him back out there on the track circulating.
Absolutely, and very pretty race car that Matty Hunter runs as well out on track with all those fantastic logos on it. Getting a little bit of extra airtime. We don't play favourites here. Cough, cough. Meanwhile, up front, Jake Maloney's managed to get up into the lead with Hamish Gallagher right behind him, and they are starting to get a bit of a stretch on now. Remember, these guys came in a bit later. Their tyres are going to be that little bit fresher, and this can sometimes have an offset. You know, Lockie and Riley came in that little bit earlier. Their tyres will be a little bit more worn now, so their pace might not be quite as good. And I think that's what we're seeing a little bit there. As Riley gets so close to the wall, and manages to keep it out of that safer barrier and keep his night alive.
I think he did just rub that, so not too bad. No panel damage on the truck, but we can see this lead group at the back of it. One Mr. Barry Neal. Just keep an eye on him, because as these laps wear down, he'd definitely be looking to move that Toyota truck forward. Josh Micklemore now up into second. That relegates Maloney to third. Micklemore is just running that low line, and it seems to be really working for him. He's definitely got the speed on Gallagher at the moment, as he takes the lead. He ticks over and takes the lead back.
See on board here, bit of a driver's eye view from the truck, watching those leaders battle it out. This is what you'd see from Barry Neal's perspective. You can see some great battling up in front. It's always the thing when you're racing these trucks sometimes on an oval, is you sat there racing really hard, but you're watching the fight in front of you going, God, that looks like fun.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't mind being out there tonight. It's a good race pace, nice and quick.
But you'd miss out on all the fun of the commentary booth, Mark.
Well, I mean to say the good spread of the wine and the cheese and biscuits, that's always a bonus.
A little bit further back, we've got Jason Martin and Ruben Phelps working together, trying to catch up to that lead pack. They have got a good 2 seconds to gain on the car in front, so quite a bit of a gap to make up on Barry Neal at the moment.
Yeah, there's some good pedallers there. As you said, Jason Martin, Ruben Phelps, JCW, Stephen Williams. He's had a bit of a quiet season so far, but definitely keep an eye out for him. Shane Bowen and Alexander Sheridan. It's always a bit scary when those two are linked up because they can move forward very quickly.
Yeah, they are a good couple of pedallers, and Cobalt Racing, we've seen them coming from strength to strength the past couple of seasons as well, and they are really doing well, and well, almost took the victory last time at Atlanta, so be keeping an eye on those cars. A little bit further back, we've got Toddy Maxfield leading a Sim Boy charge. He's got Gary Wellman and Chris Finley right behind him. Michael Campbell sitting there as well in the 619 with Kay Donnelly, Matty Hunter, Nicholas Walsh and Roger Clark back there as well. Returning Roger Clark back to the oval racing. Great to see Roger out there again. Of course, son of Mr. Norman Clark. So the father and son out on the track once more. Speaking of his dad, he's just behind him. Norman Clark leading the charge with Maxie Marshall right behind him. Brad Fenley and Matty Ray. They are trying to close in that gap as well. New driver Greg Shelton that's sitting back in 26th position, just behind Noddy Tompkins at the moment, who is battling it out on track, and they have Troy Davidson. I think, no, trying to work out where I am there. See who that is. Can't quite see Maddie Ray. They have Maddie Ray back there. So, some lots of little battles going out on the track at the moment, but the main battle is here up the front of the field.
It definitely is up the front. Oh, Lachlan there getting a little bit loose and squirrely. Just to bring up to date, Aaron Dillon is still in pit lane. He's been there now for 8 laps, and of course we've lost Ben Vickers to that huge hit in that opening lap. So one retirement, one car still sitting in pit lane. That gives us 28 cars still on in the race, and Troy Davidson the only car that is 1 lap down.
I think Aaron Dillon got a fairly heavy penalty for speeding and possibly unsafe pit entry, and may have just parked it for the time being, and jumping in to help some of his teammates and do some spotting duties now. So up at the front we've got Hamish Gallagher, Josh Mickle, Jake Maloney, Riley Curtis, Barry Neal, Lachlan Urquhart, Dave Douglas, Jason Martin, Ruben Phelps, Joshua Carroll and Stevie Dubb. An absolute force of drivers up there. And then the 2 Cobalt cars, Shane Bowen and Alexander Sheridan. A list of former ANZCAR winners all throughout that top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. And when you look at it, any one of these trucks can definitely get to the lead and take the win here tonight at Vegas. So I think we'll see the gloves come off around lap 110, and some more close racing. A little bit strung out a little bit at the moment, but they'll just be biding their time to that next fuel stop, which we should see around lap 90, and that should almost see them home. Battle at the moment here between Barry Neal and Riley Curtis, 2 wide, and the only ones are up in that lead group that are too wide. Barry's got the run on, and it'll come back down to a single file lane.
Watch out for the 22 taking that slightly lower line. Barry is one of those drivers that can absolutely make it work on pretty much any track. He's very good at making an alternate line work, and everybody else will be sitting there going, how's he doing it? How's he able to keep that speed up running a tighter line? He's just got away with the car to make it work, and he's one of those drivers that can absolutely pull that kind of thing off. And when he does, he is very hard to beat. So he's trying to get that working at the moment, and it's not doing bad for him. He's up in fourth position at the moment, so getting closer and closer to the leaders. Lachlan Urquio doing good as well. He's coming back now as the tyres have started wearing down. He's got this pace back, same with Riley Curtis, so not dropping too far off the pace there, and they are keeping themselves in contention for this race. We are on lap 70. We've had 70 laps of green flag racing here tonight at Las Vegas. Who is going to roll the dice? Who is going to put on a bet? Who is going to come up short? We will find out in a few laps' time here at Performance E Streaming for the Neuropower ANZCAR Thunder Series here with the trucks for 2024.
Still don't think I'm game enough to pick a winner out just yet, Carl. As you said, like that lead group, there's so many past race winners, past champions in the truck. You know, you've got to be great. Right at the moment, you have to be brave to go against Hamish Gallagher for the win. But in saying that too, anything can happen, and anything normally does happen in these races.
Absolutely, and I mean, we've got some of the most experienced drivers in the ANZCAR series, and the most experienced driver out there, Stevie Dubb in the 98, absolute veteran on ovals, and a man that will absolutely be in with a shout in this race too. Do not discount that car. That DPR entry sitting back there, he will be biding his time and waiting to see what happens. Had some bad luck in some recent races, unfortunately, for Stevie Dubb. Hopefully though, tonight we are going to see an end to that, and we'll see that car getting some good points hauls here tonight. Jason Martin racing hard with Dave Douglas at the moment, side by side. The 21 and multiple champion Jason Martin up against Dave Douglas, a multiple race winner, a very, very seasoned race veteran out there in Dave Douglas, who took the win on Monday night in the Wheeling Modifieds at New Hampshire, which was an absolute stunning race. But we're being treated to one here tonight as well.
Yeah, definitely a great race here tonight. As you said, you know, so far all green flag racing, green flags, pit stops, and we'll definitely see another round of those green flag stops very shortly, I'd say.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing those green flag stops coming pretty soon for some drivers. It's about 9 laps time, I reckon. We'll be seeing the 42 of Lachlan Urquio coming into the lane, so not too far off from Lockie and Riley Curtis. Those two will need to come into the lane a lot sooner than some of the others. So, as we continue trucking on here in Las Vegas, it is Hamish Gallagher up in the lead in the insert American football team name here. Truck.
Yeah, Kansas City Chiefs.
Help, Mark. I don't know anything about other sports. I only know motorsport.
Of course, Taylor Swift is actually dating one of the linemen there over there. I think he was a lineman, or he may have been a wide receiver. All I know is that they beat my team in the Super Bowl, so yeah, leave it at that.
So not your popular pick, and look, I mean, you know, poor Hamish, poor Hamish getting cheated on by Taylor once again.
Yeah, he'd be feeling it because yeah, not a very happy camper.
Hey, got possibly an issue for Ruben Phelps here. No, it's pit lane for Ruben Phelps. Or is it? No, he's just gone off. What has happened there to Ruben Phelps? He's just got offline and just gone into the wall. Is that a technical failure maybe? Let's just rewind that and get another look at it. He's lifted off. I wonder if his VR is broken or something like that, Mark. I know Ruben does use VR, and he's pulled that car in, and that's either a failure of equipment or a strange accident there for Rubes.
Yeah, I'd say it's his VR. We have seen him have some issues in the past with his VR, as you said, Carl. But let's just wait and see. I might disappear and see if I can find out what actually happened there for us.
Yeah, so something has happened there to the SRM machine of Ruben Phelps as we are coming up to put Noddy Tompkins a lap down here as Hamish Gallagher is catching up now to the back of this strong field here tonight. We have 30 cars starting this race. We've got 27 cars still out there up in the lead. It's Hamish Gallagher. 81 laps of green flag racing here tonight at Las Vegas.
I'll just leave that channel alone for now with Lockie up here in the pointy end. So yeah, I don't want to go interrupting them too much.
No, it's always tricky disturbing drivers, isn't it? You never know when's the best time to chat to them, as Jake Maloney's getting a bit of a run here on Josh Micklemore. The battle for the front is still going on here, Mark.
Yeah, it definitely is. We see that these four trucks are get a slight gap now over Lachlan. I don't think that early pit stop has worked for Lockie as well as he thought it would. But yeah, it's definitely a good race because we've got in that second group still got Lachlan, Dave Douglas, Riley Curtis, Jason Martin, JCW, who's getting a big hurry up by Stevie Williams and Shane Bowen. So we should see these guys close up again on that second that lead group again, and Noddy Tompkins into the wall again there.
Just gave that wall a little rub, but luckily managed to keep the truck up in a good spot, and Lockie getting tight out the corner. It is really getting tricky out there. I think the trucks are starting to get light. They're starting to get that little bit light once more, and I think we're going to see Urquio coming into the lane very soon as well. Just heard from Mr. Dillon. Good to hear from you, Mr. Aaron Dillon. Shame to see you out of the race, but nice to hear from you. No draft out there tonight as well, and not getting much draft action whatsoever in these things out here at Vegas. But we are seeing some good racing here, and it's all about that position, and it is really coming into effect here tonight. Some great racing out here on track as we are in round number 3 of the ANZCAR trucks for 2024, of course, here for Thursday Night Thunders. Noddy Tompkins just gives that wall another big rub there as well, and big scratches down the side of the number 80, but continues lapping on. Meanwhile, Hamish Gallagher out in front as we run along here. He's got Jake Maloney right behind him as well. This is an absolutely mega top four here up the front. You've got Gallagher, Maloney, Neal and Micklemore. These guys absolutely are some of the fastest oval racers in Australia. And then that pack behind is just a who's who of oval racers here in Australia at the moment. Really great stuff to see. A fantastic pack of cars out on track tonight, and quite a few people trying to work out what they need to do for the end of this race now.
And just looking at those two trucks in front, one of them is one person that I wouldn't expect to be seen looking at going a lap down, and that's Matty Ray. So he's definitely not having a great night tonight.
No, the 83 is struggling a little bit tonight, and as expected, Urquio in pit lane. Ooh, so close to messing that one up. Let's hope he got that slowed down in time. That thing was fishtailing into the lane.
Yeah, definitely. And unfortunately with that earlier pit stop, he's got no choice but to come in and take another early stop, where these guys will probably get close to getting to the 100 lap mark, and should see him almost get home.
Yeah, it's a thing of wanting to take as long as possible. The longer you can stay out here, you might lose a little bit of time, but you're going to have fresher tyres to the end of the race, and that could be crucial as we go along. So we might see some people just extending this stint a little bit, just to try and get the freshest tyres possible. But it does have a risk as well, because the longer you stay out there, you could start losing a little bit of time as well.
Yeah, just think I heard Riley Curtis calling pit, and Dave Douglas, yes, but both in the pit.
Teammates pitting in right here. 093 and the number 10 coming in to the lane. So who is going to be next down the lane? There are plenty of contenders out there, plenty of things that could go wrong here as well. As you come into pit lane, races can be won and lost on pit entry and pit exit. It's very easy to make a mistake, and look at that, Shane Bowen getting an absolute monster run out of 4, getting past JCW. A fantastic run for the Cobalt entry, and Shane Bowen moving himself up. And just heard from Aaron Dillon, unfortunately PC issues taking him out of tonight's race. Another driver with some technical failures. We think that may be what happened to Ruben Phelps as well. Brad Fenley in the lane, as well as Gary Wellman. So the Sim boys in strength. Todd Maxfield just missing the marks of his lane there. Kate Donnelly in as well, as we just saw Greg Shelton just exiting the lane in his debut race for the ANZCAR series, and currently running just at the back of the field, but still a lot of cars needing to make some pit stops here tonight.
Leader in this pit in this lap.
And Matty Ray just in front of him, just getting that truck slowed down, just struggling a little bit. And look at Jake Maloney, absolutely monstrous on the brakes there, gaining a huge amount of time on Gallagher on pit entry. And that's not something we see too often. Gallagher losing time on pit entry. Usually he is the last of the late breakers. So this could well lose him the lead of the race. It's just going to be where can Maloney come out? So Maloney just exiting the box now. Will he be able to get out in front of Gallagher? Gallagher pulling away now. Just keeps it ahead. And they are back in formation here. And back out onto the track they go. Barry Neal coming into the lane now in the 22. And Mark, you should pronounce the team name.
Yeah, no. Pass.
The Arator Rower Racing Team, and I know I've butchered that. As always, I'm so sorry, Barry, and to all of the Kiwis out there.
The one truck that's not here tonight is Paul Jackson. I'm missing his purple wheels out here tonight.
Yeah, no purple rims on track. That's disturbing. Just up front, Hamish Gallagher has kept the lead. Lachlan Urquio up in third position, but he's under pressure from Maloney. Now Maloney making the move underneath the 42 and moving himself up there. Dave Douglas getting a good run as well. Douglas working his way up there, and Riley Curtis too. So the pit stops have started shaking themselves out, and the field has spread once more. While we had a fairly tight pack for the top 12 before pit stops, it has spread out an enormous amount. Riley Curtis and Josh Micklemore about half a second off Dave Douglas at the moment. Jason Martin lost a lot of time in pit lane, working with Stevie Dubb to try and close the gap now. They got Shane Bowen and Joshua Carroll-Walden just behind them. Michael Campbell having a very good stop. Mick up into P12 here, absolutely having a good run out there at the moment.
Just back in that lead group, Carl, that battle for second, third and fourth and fifth is really starting to heat up now, with Barry Neal there and Jake Maloney having a great battle. Lachlan Urquio is still there. Barry is being left high and dry. Will Dave Douglas join up with him, or no, he's decided to come down on the low line. This is a great battle for second and third.
I wonder if... can you go back and check Barry's pit stop for me, please, Mark? Because I wonder if he's taken just right side only. I'm just looking at our pit stop times, and he was only about 13 seconds in the box. It might be a timing error, but that tells me he didn't take all 4 tyres, if that is the case. And that will be an interesting strategy if it is such. So a bit of behind the scenes magic here. We run our iRacing separately, so we can go back and look at separate incidents and look at little things, of course. Well, Mark can. I can't, because I'm streaming. So I'm doing the broadcast at the moment, so can't go back and look too easily for myself, but Mark can try and go back and see what happened in that pit stop. Meanwhile, Jason Martin, Stevie Dubb still running well with Shane Bowen. This is our battle for the top 10. Joshua Carroll-Walden trying to get in for Natari and get himself up inside the top 10 positions. He's going to be hoping he can get up there and get himself in a good spot here tonight. A little bit further back, got Michael Campbell there with Alexander Sheridan battling it out for P13, P12 and P13 at the moment. And just looking through the top 20, we've got the Sim boys up there with Kay Donnelly, Chris Finley. Roger Clark up in 16th spot, good return from Rog. Gary Wellman up in 17th spot, Toddy Maxfield up in 18th, 19th for Norman Clark. And Maxi Marshall having a great run out there in the 08 in the 20th position. But he has got to keep the pace up, because he's got Matty Hunter right behind him at the moment, putting all kinds of pressure on him, with Brad Fenley closing in at a vast rate of knots in the Green VB entry 2. So keep an eye on that battle. Meanwhile, we've got some great fighting up here at the front. Real big fight here for third position. Maloney's managed to break away for second, but it's Urquio and Micklemore fighting it out for P3. Dave Douglas right behind them with Riley Curtis, and they are fighting hard at the moment.
I had a look at that pit stop of Neil's, and he definitely only took right hand side.
Yeah, that's a very Barry Neal thing to do, isn't it?
Yes, it most certainly is.
He will have somehow actually got more tyre on the left-hand side by racing around here. He is a master at saving tyres and keeping speed. He's still right up there, and he has managed to take 2 less tyres. Everybody else taking all 4. So a very different strategy here for Barry Neal, but it is working at the moment.
But as you said, Carl, He's one of those masters that can make anything work with these tyres on these trucks.
He is, as I say, he's one of those drivers that can actually reduce tyre wear as he drives and actually heal the tyres. Sometimes it feels like racing against him at Fontana a while back, he was absolutely flying and just able to just keep his right rear tyre alive without any issue, and keeping the pace well above pretty much everybody else. Really, really good at racing fast and keeping tyres alive is Barry Neal. It's a very good strength to have, and it really comes to play on some of those tracks where tyre wear is crucial. So big thank you, of course, to everybody for joining us here tonight at Performance E-Stream. Always a pleasure to be with you and bring these races out to you live. We are having a fantastic time here for the Neuropower ANZCAR Thunder Series. It's Thursday night, it is the trucks, and we are racing hard here at Las Vegas. And a big shout out to Neuropower, our season sponsor, of course, helping those that are having it very, very rough, you've got to say, helping them have a little bit of a better life experience, and giving them a little bit better life conditions and just a little bit of extra fun when it is very hard to have it, helping people with disabilities and people with palliative care get a bit of extra fun in their lives. Always an important thing to do. Barry Neal and Lachlan Urquhart battling it out at the moment, racing hard here for 5th and 6th position. Meanwhile, Hamish Gallagher still in the lead, but Maloney all over the back of him.
Just looking a little bit further back, Carl, in that second group, we've got Martin, Bowen and Williams and JCW. So they're not, I wouldn't count them out of this race either yet. All it'll need is a caution or a little bit of a slip up, and they'll catch that group.
Okay, Donnelly just having a few connectivity issues, but looks like it's sorted itself out. So that's some good news. Just saw that appear on the screen, but looks like that car is still running. Cade down in 14th position, so hopefully the gods of connectivity will be playing fair with him tonight and not alleviate him of a top 20 finish. A little bit further back, Matt Hunter up in P20 at the moment, so he's inside the top 20. Norman Clark just dropping back a little bit here. I expect to see that truck maybe coming back in the next couple of laps. We know Norman is one of those drivers that will take it easy in the beginning of a stint and then start to come back as the laps wind down. So do not discount the 0.9 from a top 20 finish tonight. Meanwhile, Urquhart getting himself just dropping off the back of Barry Neal now. Barry Neal is starting to switch on the afterburners, catching up to the back of Double D, Dave Douglas even. Dave Dastardly in the Wacky Races, I should say. Of course, if you ever fancy getting a driver's eye view, then head over to the casting couch over on Twitch. Dave Douglas does stream there as well, so always fun to watch Dave racing away. And Double D out there at the moment, racing hard against Barry Neal. Barry getting a good run on the inside at the moment.
You just watching there before, a little slight touch between these two, and that's given Barry the chance to get up and get inside and take that spot away from PD. And this is about the time where we really see Barry start to come alive. Those front three have got a little bit of a gap now over them. Still Hamish Gallagher, Jake Maloney and Josh Mickelmore out there in front. just nice and easy.
See if he can close the gap in the next 15 laps, because we only have 15 laps of this race remaining, ladies and gentlemen. And it is Hamish Gallagher up here in the lead with Jake Maloney all over the gearbox of Mr. Gallagher at the moment, and they are absolutely racing nose to tail. We'll jump on the gearbox view of Hamish Gallagher here, and you can see just how close it is. That Toyota menacing behind Hamish Gallagher, making sure he cannot make a single mistake.
See there, Josh dropping off the back of Maloney a little bit. Just hope that he doesn't drop off too much more, otherwise he'll drop back into the clutches of Barry Neal.
Yeah, Barry is starting to close. So is Dave though. So they're all starting to form up now and trying to get in their spots. But you've got to say, at the moment, it's really between Gallagher and Maloney. Those two looking very, very strong at the moment. Micklemore could well be keeping his powder dry and just waiting for his moment to strike. But those two trucks have been very strong all night long.
Yeah, we've seen Hamish get held up early in the opening stint of that race, but now that he's once he hit the front, he's really been what's the word I'm looking for, Carl? Unfazed by what's going on behind him.
Absolutely, and we're not under the weather tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're both at full peak physical condition tonight, so so everything's running fine here in the background at Performance E Streaming. Neither of us have been having medical issues and or are so tired they're pretty much falling asleep in their seats. So we are going well here, but luckily the racing is keeping us, keeping the adrenaline running and keeping us wide awake here, because they are really giving us a great show, Mark.
Yeah, definitely. I've just been watching Maloney these last couple of laps. We see him just drop off a little bit and then have a run, close up, get under the tail of Gallagher. Again, he's doing that right now. He's looking at having a run. He closes, and he's right up there again. So he's definitely starting to think about the run towards the checkered flag with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, starting to get a plan of attack here for those final few laps, obviously. And look, if there's one driver that's probably not going to crack under the pressure, it is Hamish Gallagher. But you still have to apply that pressure because you never know. So doing a good job here to just crank the screws a little bit, to just put that pressure on the number 13 Mitch Motorsport car. But it's very hard to make that man crack under pressure. He has got many lead laps under his belt. Just looking back a little bit, Shane Bowen battling it out for 9th position. Stevie Dubb sitting in 10th position at the moment. JCW just dropping off a little bit here in 11th. And a little bit further back, I said watch out for the number 9 as these final laps started to go, and he's starting to work his way up into P20 now, getting ahead of Fenley and Hunter, and now putting the pressure on the 08 of Maxi Marshall, who's having a solid run out here tonight.
Just watching back up front, Carl. Maloney's definitely trying different lines. You can see he's trying to run up high. Look at getting the run down through through the turns 3 and 4. Just he needs someone there to help him. He's got underneath Gallagher now, so he's going to have the run. But I think it's too early. 7 laps to go. It's definitely too early. Look at Hamish coming back underneath through the tri-oval.
And you just wonder if Hamish was letting that happen just to get an idea of what he needs to do, just in case he gets tapped on the last lap. Just getting a little bit of a trial run in there, just to get an idea of what needs to be done. And this is the lead of the race. 6 laps to go. We have been green so far from start to finish. And up the front, it is Gallagher and Maloney racing very hard with each other.
Yeah, definitely. If they keep racing like this and don't touch, we're going to be down for another photo finish.
Yeah, we saw a fantastic finish last time at Atlanta. Could we be in for another one here tonight? Do not discount it. Josh Mickelmore just sitting back there in third position, just trying to get an idea of what he wants to do. Just going to jump back quickly to a replay of Greg Shelton. Just possibly something happened here. And doesn't look like looks like he may have had to pull it in, unfortunately. So unfortunately there for Greg Shelton, having to pull the car out of the race just in these final couple of laps. But up the front, the race is absolutely on with 4 to go, side by side here. Maloney versus Gallagher. This is going to be an absolute grandstand finish, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready to stand for this one because it is really close stuff, nail-biting. There is nothing between these two trucks as they are flying through this track.
A touch there. A little bit of gamesmanship here as they come across the line to go 2 laps left. Maloney just trying to force Gallagher down track, trying to get that run. No, side by side down the back straight.
Close as you like it between those two cars. Cigarette paper between them, and there wouldn't have been much else to fit down there as Gallagher gets a good run off the corner. Maloney should have a better run off the high line. He should get a little bit more speed as they come across to get the white flag. Who's it going to be? Maloney or Gallagher? Who will take the flag? It's going to be close here. They are absolutely side by side. Not an inch between these two cars. Let's jump up to the chopper cam. Absolutely close as you like it, coming through turn 3 and 4 for the final time tonight. Gallagher's got a little bit ahead at the moment. He's got a nose ahead, but Maloney's getting a good run here. Who's going to take it? Who's going to take it? It is absolutely nothing between the two cars. Who took it? Well, we're going to need to find out as the race unfolds. That was absolutely as close as you like it, Mark. As you like, Mark.
Definitely. And the timing has come over. Jake Maloney has won that race only by 0.012 of a second. What another great finish, Carl, for another round of the ANZCAR Truck Series.
How close was that? Absolutely nothing in it once again. Fantastic finish for Jake Maloney, taking the victory and coming home for the win. The 29 absolutely celebrating and taking the victory here tonight.
Yeah, definitely a great way to finish round 3. Great close racing right from the word go, from the drop of the green flag. 130 laps of green flag racing. It's fantastic from these guys.
Absolutely, and What a fantastic last few laps between those two boys. Absolutely side by side, giving each other just the tiniest amount of room, but racing fair to the line. And it's Jake Maloney taking victory in the 29 here tonight. So let's look at our results for tonight's race. And get the full results through for you, and you can see there just the narrowest of margins for Jake Maloney, taking victory ahead of Hamish Gallagher. Josh Micklemore comes home in third with Barry Neal in fourth position. Double D Dave Douglas comes home a strong fifth with Lockie Urquio having another solid result tonight in sixth position. Riley Curtis in seventh, eighth for Jason Martin, ninth for Shane Bowen, and Stevie Dubb rounds out our top 10. Down in 11th place, it's JCW for Natari. Alexander Sheridan comes home in 12th for Cobalt Racing. Michael Campbell comes home 13th after a solid run, up 5 spots. It's Cade Donnelly home in 14th. Luckily, the computer held on, and so did his internet. Chris Finley comes home in 15th for Sim Boys, with Roger Clark coming home at 16th. 17th for Gary Wellman, 18th for Toddy Maxfield. Maxie Marshall comes home in 19th spot, and Norman Clark comes home in 20th. 21st is Mr. Matty Hunter, with Brad Fenley just behind him in 22nd. Matty Ray is in 23rd. A little bit of a quiet night for Matty Ray, down 1 lap here tonight. Nicholas Walsh comes in just behind him with Troy Davidson. Greg Sholton out 9 laps to the end. Noddy Tompkins, Ruben Phelps with some kind of technical failure. Aaron Dillon with computer issues, and Ben Vickers out early doors with contact. The only real crash we saw all night, and it did not bring out the caution. What a absolute fantastic race here tonight, Mark. Some really good action out on track. Once again, we have been treated to some fantastic action, mate.
Yeah, it definitely has. As I said, green flag racing from the start to the finish, and really realistically, right through the whole race, you just didn't know where to look because it was action packed right down through the field.
Absolutely. And look, if you've enjoyed tonight's race, make sure to join us next time out on the 7th of March. It is off to Phoenix next time for some more Phoenix, there we go. Yeah, for some more action in the trucks. So we hope you can join us there for that. But well, I think we should start to speak to some of our drivers who got those podium finishes, Mark.
Yeah, definitely. We'll pull up Josh Micklemore, our third place man. A man that we've seen start very strong with his teammate Jason Martin. Welcome to the booth, Josh. A bit of a tough one there for you boys tonight.
Yeah, it was a bit tonight. It was a bit of a weird race as well, and having drove the truck around here with the car acting like it was. So yeah, no, it's a bit of a different race. I don't recall racing here at night for a long time, so it's been a little bit different. But yeah, it was all good in the end. Just got top 3, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, we've seen the pace early on from the drop of the green flag, very quick. Was that the idea for you guys to lead that race out quick, or was it just a matter of the way it went for you?
It's just the way we didn't have a plan or anything, mate. We would just see what happens and worry about that at the end if we're all up there. But yeah, didn't have any plan.
Fair enough. We were talking about tyre wear tonight. Has it changed much since you were here last? What was the tyre wear like tonight?
Yeah, tyre wear wore out a fair bit. But yeah, it was just flat out racing the whole night around here. It's not normally like that around here. not like it was tonight. It was like racing at Daytona tonight. It was kind of weird, but Yeah, tyre wear. There was a fair bit of tyre wear, so but you had to manage it at the end. After about 40 laps, mine was starting to die off a bit, but we only had a 37 lap run at the end, so mine would have been good to at least probably 42 laps in or so. That was when mine was starting to die off, but yeah, that was good.
No, that's good, mate. Well, we've seen you boys have some great results now for the first three. Well, I think we've seen one of your trucks up in the top three almost every week. I think by memory. It's so it's a good result and a good start for the season for you boys.
Yeah, not too bad. I've had a few wrecks. Jason's had a win, and Hamish has he had a couple of wrecks as well, but he's second tonight, so that was cool.
Yep.
So yeah, it's all good. Good fun.
Well, mate, when we're off to I think it was Phoenix next week.
Yeah.
Love it or hate it.
The next three tracks I really like: Phoenix, Bristol, and especially Richmond.
Yeah, nice short tracks.
Yeah, that's right. Short tracks. Get away from this plate stuff.
Mate, a little bit more technical track, the short tracks. A little bit more braking that needs to be done. So I guess we have seen you in the past have some good results in those tracks.
Yeah, that's the sort of tracks I enjoy racing at, sort of thing. So it's where I probably shine the best, sort of thing. So yeah, it should be good fun. I look forward to racing everyone the next few weeks there, especially Richmond. That's probably one of my favourite tracks, actually, Richmond.
All right. Well, mate, again, congratulations on third place tonight. Before we kick you out of the booth and go back to our wine and bickies, shout out to sponsors and supporters.
Yeah, just to Leppy Motorsport Concepts jumping on board this year. Mitch Motorsport boys doing a fair bit of work over lots of different cars and tracks this year. So yeah, fair bit of work behind the scenes in the team, and you guys for broadcasting as well, and everyone watching.
No worries, mate. Well, again, congratulations on third place, and thanks for your time tonight.
No worries. Thanks, boys.
Well, we'll pull up his teammate, Mr. Hamish Gallagher. Mr. Hamish Gallagher in a paint scheme I really dislike at the moment. Welcome to the booth, Hamish, and congratulations on second place, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Kansas City Chiefs F-150 was fast, but not quite fast enough.
Oh, lucky there wasn't a 49er truck out there tonight, mate. Otherwise, it may have taken you out. Mate, yeah, look, we were talking to your teammate, Josh. A very fast pace at the start. You got locked back in around fifth place, but you certainly made short work of getting up into the lead.
Yeah, that was a very weird race. I didn't know what to think of it. One lap quali, and I was somehow like a 10th off the pole time. I don't know, your foot flat. I don't know what I did wrong, and then you just couldn't really pass because you just, it was like Daytona, but you're just foot flat. You weren't lifting or anything. So I don't think I've ever driven a stint in the truck and just never lifted. Like that's what we're doing. So that was very weird. But yeah, like I think the guys at the bottom eventually just sort of wore their right front out a little bit more, and then I think it was Dave and Lockie maybe, or JC Dub. They were sort of like running right up on the fence, so sort of leaving the middle open. So I'm able to sneak a few spots that way. But yeah, and then yes, once you got the pit stops, people sort of dropped off a wee bit, and without any help, it was very hard to get passes done, which is why Jake managed such a good job there to nab the win.
Yeah, we've seen Lachlan going earlier. It definitely hurt his race, I think. You guys just seemed to pit when you felt like it, and was able to connect back up and have a good run again.
Yeah, well, I basically ran out of fuel in that first stint, so it was a touch and go. I think I was out on pit lane. Yes, I ran as long as I could, and whether or not that helped or not, I'm not sure. One lap on tyres when your foot flat probably didn't make a huge difference, but didn't speed and had a good entry and good exit. I guess that's probably what helped tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Seen some those closing 10 laps. You and Jake are really leaning on each other. Looked like there was a couple of touches there through those last 10 laps.
Yeah, well, he's naturally trying to pin me down as tight as I could, and then I was trying to give as much room as I could. But I knew he was going to be a pro about it, not do anything stupid. So neither did I. I didn't want to do it either. So we just sort of lean on each other, and I knew I could trust him. And yeah, that made it. That was definitely the highlight of the race.
Yeah, definitely some great pictures are coming through the cameras. So probably a good one to go back and have a look at the last 10 laps there, Hamish. But anyway, congratulations on second place, mate. It's good to see you back out in the trucks and having a good run. So off to Phoenix next week. Love it or hate it?
Mixed bag. I'm not sure. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it.
All right, mate. Well, thanks for your time. And before we let you go, shout out to sponsors and supporters.
Shout out to those Super Bowl champs, Mark. You know, suck it.
Next year, mate. Next year.
Yeah, no, just thank you guys for doing for the broadcast and ANZCAR for putting the races on.
No worries, mate. Again, congratulations on second place, and hopefully we're talking to you again real soon.
Cheers, thanks, boys.
All right. Our last person we need to speak to is the pilot of the 29 truck, Mr. Jake Maloney. Welcome to the booth, mate, and congratulations on the race win here at Vegas.
Yeah, cheers guys. That was great race there with Hamish at the end, and had a lot of fun coming through the field, and yeah, it was a bit of an interesting one the way it raced. Like, it was hard to make a move on people, but yeah, really good fun.
Yeah, we've spoken to both Hamish and Josh in the previous interview. Very strange race where everyone just seemed to come out and it was like racing at Daytona or Talladega.
Yeah, I was quite surprised in those first few laps. I knew normally there's a bit of racing in the first few laps close like that, but yeah, that first stint, everyone was like too wide for 20 or 30 laps.
Mate, I don't know. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if you could see behind you. They were 3 and 4 wide at some points.
I think I was making it 2 and 3 wide at some points myself as well. So, but yeah, no, it was actually quite good fun. Bit of an interesting one, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Look, last 10 laps, we picked it when you tried to have a run. I think it was about 15 laps out, and then you seem to be able to get that high line working for you, and you just seem to know when to go. In the last 10 laps, some great racing between you and Gallagher. With leaning on each other, you trying to force him down track, and then he was coming back out through that tri-oval, and trying to push you wide. How was it for you in the truck racing?
Yeah, it was awesome fun racing, Hamish. I mean, we were both squeezing each other. That many car contacts in those last 10 laps, but it was awesome, and we all both gave each other just enough room and put on a good show there for the last 10 laps, and yeah, really close finish. One of the closest I've been involved in.
Yeah, you took it by 0.012 of a second, mate. So a repeat of Atlanta, kind of the race win there, and another great finish by you two, and very close.
Yeah, no, it was great fun, and yeah, bit like Atlanta as well, and yeah, no self spins and shunts onto pit entry in green flag pit stops this week.
Yeah, they tend to bring them out under green flag stops. Mate, well, again, congratulations on the race win. Before we let you go, shout out to sponsors and supporters.
Yeah, just big thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast and the admins for putting the series on.
All right, mate. Well, off to Phoenix next week. Love it or hate it?
Yeah, don't mind it. Should be a good race. Yeah, I normally don't mind it. Good fun cutting the dog leg and putting the big moves on.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to heading there. It's always great racing, and the way you guys have raced for the first 3 rounds, it's shaping up to be another great race.
Absolutely.
All right, mate. Well, thank you very much for your time tonight, and congratulations on your win here at Las Vegas.
Cheers, guys.
Well, there you go, Carl. Three reasonably happy guys. I know Hamish would have liked to have been across that line with his nose just in front, but that is what it is, and he'll be back out next week for a great race.
Well, that's it. This is why that slightly elongated Toyota badge is always useful to have on the front of these trucks. Paid off in dividends tonight. Just on the screen now, you can just see how close it was. Absolutely. Photo finish there coming to the line. And, well, what another great finish we have had here in the trucks. We have had some great racing these past couple of weeks. And, well, tonight, again, it did not disappoint.
No, definitely did not, and like as we said in the booth, and even the guys have said, very strange start to the race. It was like a super speedway, but they settled down and gave us great racing right throughout the field tonight.
Absolutely, some awesome stuff out on track. As we said, hopefully we will be seeing you all back at Phoenix on the 7th of March. We look forward to seeing you all there. And, well, hopefully we get another absolute photo finish as well. But being Phoenix, I'm not going to be quite as hopeful, Mark.
No, that dogleg tends to play up a little bit. We've seen some big accidents through some leagues coming off that dogleg. Guys just hitting those bumps coming back onto the main track. And seeing them turn sideways and also turning right up into the front of the field.
Absolutely, and well, on the weekend, Mark, over on Checkered Flag e-streaming, the Aussie Outlaws are back in action.
Yeah, Aussie Outlaws head to Atlanta, 261 laps. So it's going to be interesting there. We've already got one person locked into the playoffs, so in that Matty Ray winning the 500 last weekend. But I know that there's a lot of hungry guys. Been talking to some of the teams through the week, and they are definitely putting some big efforts into their setups this week.
Oh, absolutely. And then on Monday night, the ANZCAR circus is back at Martinsville in the modifieds. If you fancy coming out for some fantastic racing, please do, and you can catch the highlights packages of that over on the ANZCAR Facebook page. The link will be on there, and do catch the last race at New Hampshire. Absolutely fantastic stuff. So we look forward to seeing you on the 7th of March for Phoenix, and hopefully seeing you for some more great action, and of course seeing you at Atlanta on the weekend over on Checkered Flag. A big thank you tonight to Mr. Mark Johansson for joining me up here in the booth. I am as ever Mr. Carl Wilkinson Withy, and we will be seeing you back next week for some more ANZCAR action. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Night night.